Look, when you first get into DaVinci Resolve, you almost close it out immediately. You got 6 different pages, you have hundreds of buttons and panels you don't even know of. But once you know the basics, it's the most powerful free editing software on the planet. And with version 21 coming out, it just made it even better. So in this video, I'm breaking everything down a beginner needs to know when it comes to the new features, the existing tools, the pros, the cons, and whether this is the right software for you as a beginner when it comes to your creative journey. So let's get into it. Before we get into what's new, you need to understand what DaVinci Resolve is, because most beginners hear the name and they assume it's just another editing app. Well, it's actually not. DaVinci Resolve is a professional video editing platform built by Blackmagic Design. They're the same company that use high-end cinema cameras used on film sets. Now, this software, the free version, is the same core tool set used on Hollywood productions, Netflix originals, and major music videos. This isn't some beginner software trying to look professional. This is professional software that's becoming more accessible with every single update. So that distinction matters because the skills you build inside Resolve, they transfer directly into professional environments. So you're not learning a shortcut, you're actually learning a real thing. So the first question that I always get, is it actually free? Yes, this is actually completely free to download. There's no trial period, there's no watermarks, there's no limited export. So literally everything is free when it comes to the software. Now there is a paid version and it's called DaVinci Resolve Studio, but it's a one-time payment of $295. So there's really no monthly subscriptions. You just buy it once and then you own it. So Studio, it actually unlocks additional features like AI, advanced noise reduction, collaboration tools when you're working with a team, and some higher end visual effects. But my honest take when it comes to being a beginner, the free version is pretty much your starting point. You're not necessarily going to hit a ceiling when it comes to the free version. So that's one of the biggest advantages when it comes to the software, because compared to its competitors like Adobe, that runs on a monthly subscription. And pretty soon we'll be building a comparison series with the same formats as this one. So I'll be able to compare both side by side, but for now we're going to stick with Resolve. Just a reminder, this channel helps beginner creators build their setup without wasting money. So if that's you, subscribe before this video ends. I break this down every single week. All right, so when it comes to DaVinci Resolve 21, here's what actually changed and here's what matters for beginners specifically. So the biggest headline right now when it comes to this update is the photo page. So DaVinci Resolve now lets you edit your photos when it comes to the coloring system that they use for video. So if you shoot photography and video, which a lot of us do right now, this is actually a big deal. You're using Hollywood level color tools on photos inside the same app that you edit your videos in. So there's no extra software and there's no extra cost to you. Now let's talk about the AI tools. And I want to be straight with you here. Not every feature on this update is going to matter to you as a beginner. So I'm actually going to break down the ones that actually do. So the first one we'll start with will be AI Intel search. So you can search your footage by content. You can type a word, you can describe a shot, you can even search a face. And Resolve will actually find that clip for you. So if you're shooting for hours of footage and you're spending more time organizing than editing, this will actually save you so much time. This next section will be AI blemish removal. So it's built directly into color tools. So you have like skin cleanup. And usually with this, there's really no third-party plugins or anything like that, or no extra apps. So it's literally just there. So if you're doing any type of photo editing and you want to be able to do some blemish removing, this is actually pretty dope to have, especially if you're editing on your iPad or any other type of, device. So the next one will be AI ultra sharpen. So if your footage is slightly soft and you're shooting on a phone and you want to kind of tighten things up a bit, this actually sharpens it without making it look artificial. Next, we have AI motion deblur. So this actually removes motion blur from fast moving footage. So this will be useful if you're shooting handheld or you're actually capturing action. And the last one will be AI speech generator. So you can actually input a script, select a voice model, and Resolve will actually generate the voiceover audio for you. So if you're still trying to build your confidence on camera, this is actually a real usable option while you're trying to get content out there, while you still work on trying to get comfortable speaking. So this will actually save you a lot of time and is actually pretty dope to have. So beyond the AI tools, they actually improve the keyframing across the cut and edit pages, making it more intuitive for beginners. They also have track management when it comes to the audio inside the Fairlight page. So with that, now it has a folder system. So now your audios is not all over the place. You can actually have folders set up in the system to where everything's a little bit more organized and it's not much of a mess when it comes to longer projects. And they also added 70 new graphic tools inside the Fusion and motion graphics for visual effects. And usually with them adding that many graphics, you can actually just up your editing style and make your footage look more, appealing and more attractive. And literally that's version 21. A lot of updates, they're all meaningful. Now let me show you where all this actually is inside the actual software. So inside DaVinci Resolve, there are 6 pages. Think of them as 6 specialized workspaces, and each of them are actually designed for each part of your production. So overall, here's your map. You have the cut page. This is where you actually start as a beginner, and it's built for speed. So you just drag in your footage, you trim your clips, you add music, strip down, and then everything's pretty much clean. So this will be your entry point. The next page will be the edit page. So once you're comfortable with the cut page, this becomes your main workspace. So traditional timeline editing is similar to what you see in Premiere Pro. That's pretty much what it will look like. The next page will be the color page. So this is what DaVinci Resolve is really famous for, is where you can actually color grade your footage, make it a little bit more cinematic, professional, and intentional. And I'll have a full video on that coming soon. Next, you got the Fusion page. You have motion graphics, text animation, and visual effects. This is the most complex page in the software. It uses a node-based system unlike anything else. So I'm actually gonna do another video on this as well. So don't try to learn it today. Then you got the Fairlight page. You got audio editing and mixing. So if you want your videos to actually sound professional, this is where pretty much that will be handled. And lastly, you have the Deliver page. So this is where you actually export your finished video, set your resolution, formats, and frame rate. You just hit render and every project pretty much ends there. So why should a beginner choose DaVinci Resolve 21? Well, let me give you the real list. Number 1, it's free. When you're starting out, budget is a real constraint. So Resolve gives you that professional grade tool at 0 cost, and that's not a minor thing. Number 2, there's really no subscription. So if you decide to upgrade later on and you decide to get Studio, it's a one-time payment of $295. Now, if you compare that to a software like Premiere Pro, you pretty much have a monthly fee, and you add that up, after a year, you pretty much know what your price is. But with Resolve, you only buy it once and you're done. Number 3, everything is in one place. So you don't need to separate softwares for editing, color grading, audio mixing, and motion graphics. It's all inside Resolve. So that's less money, less switching between apps, and less confusion. Number 4 will be the industry standard skills. So what you learn in Resolve is actually what's being used on professional productions right now. So you're not learning a workaround, you're actually building transferable skills. Number 5 will be optimization. So when it comes to this particular laptop that I'm using, it actually runs pretty smooth. There's no crashes, there's no slowdowns. So if you're using a MacBook and you're using Apple Silicon, you're actually in good shape. And number 6, free official certification. So Blackmagic Design offers a free training and certification program on their website. So you can learn the software, get certified at no cost. Now that's a real credential and it's completely free. Now I do have to keep it real with you because there are some cons, and I'd rather, be upfront with you so you don't get frustrated and quit within a couple weeks. Now the first con to this is that it is a learning curve. When you first open up Resolve, it is overwhelming. You got 6 pages, hundreds of options, and it takes time to get comfortable. But give yourself grace. This is not a software you master within a weekend. Number 2, the computer needs to be capable. So Resolve is actually built for professional work. So if you're on an older machine, you have limited RAM or a weak processor, you're going to feel that. Slow renders, playback issues, laggy timelines. So before you actually commit to the software, make sure that your hardware can handle it. Number 3, there are some AI tools that's only for studio only. So things like advanced noise reduction and certain AI color tools, those are locked behind the paid versions. You won't hit that wall immediately as a beginner, but it's worth knowing that it exists so it doesn't catch you off guard. Number 4, Fusion, it has its own learning curve entirely. So when it comes to motion graphics and using the node system, it could be completely foreign. And I'm not saying avoid it, but I'm saying don't try to figure it out within a week of you using it. But we'll break it down in a series when we get there. Number 5, when it comes to the tutorials compared to Premiere Pro, it's very limited because Premiere Pro and other softwares have been out for years. So if you're trying to, learn something within the software, you'll pretty much know that within an older system or older platform like Adobe or even Final Cut, and it's gonna be a little bit harder for you to kind of find this information for Resolve. But that's why I'm building this exact series, so you can actually, have a go-to resource when it comes to learning, this whole entire platform. So should you use DaVinci Resolve 21? Here's my honest take. If you're a beginner who's serious about learning video editing and you don't want to pay a monthly subscription to do so, Resolve 21 is actually your software. Just start with the cut page and then get comfortable with cutting clips. Then from there, just move over to the edit page when you're ready, and then from there, go to coloring. So you don't really need to learn all 6 pages at once, just understand the basics and then pretty much learn from there and grow. Now, if you're a casual creator and you do like quick phone clips, short social media, like short form content, and nothing long term, Resolve might be more than what you need right now. And that's also a valid answer. But if you're watching this video, you're probably not that person. You're trying to actually build something. You actually want your videos to look and sound professional. You want to understand the tools that you're actually using. And for that creator, DaVinci Resolve is one of the best decisions that you actually can make, and it's for free. Now, do I think the learning curve is worth it? Without question. The skills actually transfer. The software actually grows on you, and with every update, it makes it more accessible. With version 21 is actually the most beginner-friendly Resolve has ever been. So here's what's coming in the series. We're going page by page. So I'm going to start with the cut page in the next video, and I'm going to show you how you do your first edit inside Resolve under 10 minutes. No prior experience needed. After that, we'll hit the edit page, then color, Fairlight, Fusion, deliver. One page, one video, all beginner-friendly. And once this series wraps up, I'm building the same exact series for Adobe Premiere Pro. So it's going to be really the same format, the same breakdown. I'm pretty much going to do both when it comes to, the 2 platforms. And then from there, I'm going to do a full comparison with DaVinci Resolve versus Premiere Pro. So you actually can make a real decision based on knowing both of the platforms. Make sure you're subscribed because these videos are dropping back to back, and I don't want you falling behind in the series. Now, here's a question I want you to sit with. What's actually been holding you back from learning video editing? Is it the software? Is it not knowing where to start? Drop your answers down in the comments. I'll be able to read every single one. And if you're already on Resolve and you're already editing, what's one feature you wish someone had to explain to you before you actually started? Drop that one down too, because that might be the next video in this series that I'll go over. Check the description for links in the full series playlist. Episode 2 is coming up next, so don't skip it.